So hello everyone, I'm Ming and we are group 3. Here are all members in my group. What I'm going to talk about today is the role of United Kingdom in War 2. So let's start with your overview of Queen Mai.
Uh, Today we will talk about overview of World War II. World War II, which took place from the 1939 to the 1945, were a global conflict that fundamentally transformed the course of human history. It involved over 30 nations and were formerly fell between the early power, including the United Kingdom, the United States, and the Soviet Union, and the Axis power led by Germany, Italy, and Japan. The war began with Germany's invasion of Poland in September 1939, prompting Britain and France to declare war on Hitlerism. Over the following year, the conflict expanded across Europe, Asia, and the Pacific, resulting in immense human and material loss. The war witnessed unprecedented atrocity, most notably the Holocaust, in which millions of Jews and minorities were systematically exterminated. The turning point occurred between the 1943 and the 1944, when the Allies achieved decisive victories, such as the Details invasion in the 1945, the many surrender in May, followed by Japan in September after atomic bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. In conclusion, World War II left a profound impact on international relation, economic, and ideology. It led to the creation of the United Nations, accelerated decolonization and marked the beginning of the Cold War. Beyond its political consequence, the war remained a powerful reminder of dangers of totalitarianism and the enduring necessity of global cooperation and non-violent. The next part present by the timing.
So let's start with the reason why Britain joined World War II. So let's start with EMES course. Uh, your EMES course is a Nazi Germany invasion of Poland. This was your final event that escalated the conflict. Germany attacked Poland on September 1st, 1939, and two underlying causes. Uh, about first reason is preserve the pact with Poland. Britain and France had signed a mutual defense agreement with Poland, promising to protect it if attacked. When Germany invaded Britain itself, then it made matter, demanding a German withdrawal. But this was ignored. Consequently, Britain declared war on Germany on September the 3rd, 1939. And next is stopping Nazi German expansion. Britain government understood just allowing a dictatorial and aggressive power like Nazi Germany to dominate Europe would directly threaten the security, trade, and existence of the Britain Empire. If Germany controlled the continent, Britain would become isolated and vulnerable. And your and more than just is a follower of impersonation. During the 1930s, Britain and France tried to avoid war by conceding to Adolf Hitler's demand and aggressive action. However, all attempts to pacify Hitler through diplomacy, including the Munich Conference, ultimately failed. This convinced Britain that using force was the only remaining option to stop Hitler. And the last is to depending democracy. This decision by Britain and France to enter the war was also viewed as a fight to protect democratic value and the opposite the totalitarian fascist regime of Germany. And the next reason of Tammy.
Hello everyone. Now I will present about England's main contribution. The first is military contribution. The first fighting on multiple fronts. The British force fought on various fronts, including the defense of Britain, the North African campaign, and operation in Europe and Asia. Especially the second battle of Alamein, that is an important turning point. That was a decisive early victory under General Montgomery Cummins, who had a clear superiority in troop and tank over Roman force. Following fierce fighting, the German Italian armies suffered heavy losses and was forced to retreat from Egypt. This champ, covered with the disaster as Stalingrad, shattered the myth of Nazi invincibility and was considered the most important battle won by the Allies up to that time. The second is political contribution. The third is strategic alliance. British played a central role in forming and maintaining the Allied coalition with the United States and the Soviet Union to fight against the Axis powers. The second is diplomatic effort. Prime Minister Winston Churchill made significant diplomatic efforts to build alliance and maintain unity among the Allies, even during the most difficult periods of the war. And the last is domestic policies. The British government intake various laws and policy to mobilize the entire population for war effort. And the third is economic contribution. British transformed its economy into a wartime model, focusing on the production of weapons, ammunition, and essential materials for the war. Moreover, the government mobilized all national economic resources, including private assets, to support the war effort. And the last, Britain provide economic and military assistance to Allied nations through programs such as Lend-Lease with the US, strengthen the Allies' combat capability. And the next part, I will present.
Hello everyone. Now I'm going to talk about the challenges and losses of the United Kingdom after World War II. First, losses, human and material losses. During World War II, Britain lost over 415,000 people, including soldiers, air force, and Navy personnel. The police a series of German bombing raids from 1940 to 1941, destroyed more than 2 million homes and left major cities like London, Coventry, and Liverpool in ruin. About 60% of London buildings were damaged, causing massive reconstruction costs after the war. Second, economic deficit. The war cost Britain around 36 billion pounds, which were more than 200% of its pre-war GDP. National debt tripled, rising from 760 million pounds in 1939 to 3.5 billion pounds in 1945. And to recover, Britain has to borrow over $5 billion from the United States and Canada. Even after the war, rationing continued until 1954 because of several shortages. Third, the challenge decline of Great power status and empire. After the war, Britain lost its rich power position to the United States and the Soviet Union. the British Empire started to collapse as many colonies demanded independence. For example, India gained independence in 1947. This led to the loss of global influence and economic resources. For both and reconstruction. After the war, Britain faced a serious housing disaster due to bombing instruction. To rebuild society, the government created the welfare state and established the National Health Service in 1948. Returning soldier also has to adapt to civilian life and find new jobs in a changing economy. Yes. The next present Ngọc Mai.
Hello everyone, my name is Ngọc Mai, and today I talk about the two phases of the war: Britain lost and triumph in World War II.
Exception. Winston Churchill described Dunkirk as a miracle of deliverance, as the British Expeditionary Force, alongside French troops, found themselves driven towards the sea by the advancing German army. All escape routes were cut off, and in excess of 330,000 men arrived at Dunkirk under continuous bomb and machine gun attack from German planes.
Area of strength is concentrated in the south. On August 15th, a poorly escorted force of Heinkel bombers from Norway attempts to raid northern England, anticipating few defensive fighters. British reserve fighters in number 13 group intercepted and destroy almost 20% of the raiders. From August 13th to 19th, the Luftwaffe loses 363 aircraft, mostly bombers, destroyed or damaged to all causes. The RAF loses just 178.
Transports and troops across the Germans. Coast of Normandy.
Area of strength is concentrated in the south. On August 15th, a poorly escorted force of Heinkel bombers from Norway attempts to raid northern England, anticipating few defensive fighters. British reserve fighters in number 13 group intercepted.
Okay, in May 1940, when Germany invaded France, the British and French forces were quickly pursued to the coastal city of Dunkirk. Surrounded and under heavy attack, they simmered down. However, Britain launched Operation Dynamo, a miraculous evacuation effort that saved more than 330 soldiers, thousands of nervous and civilian boat crossed the English Channel to rescue the trapped troops. This event became a symbol of bravery, unity, and hope for the British people. After Dunkirk, Britain stood alone again. Nazi Germany in the Battle of Britain. The German Air Force tried to bomb the country into surrender, but the Royal Air Force fought bravely and successfully defended the sky. Guided by Prime Minister Winston Churchill, famous word, we shall never surrender. The British people remained strong despite immense hardship. The failure of Germany to defeat Britain marked a turning point in the war. It gave the Allies hope and eventually led to their victory in 1945. The event reminded us that true strength lies not only in weapons, but in courage, unity, and the will to never give up. And thank you for listening.